So, it's been a long time, hasn't it? I kind of went MIA, essentially. I kind of did nothing, really, with this channel. I mean, I last uploaded, let's see, 3 months ago. That was before my summer break. And, well, my summer break's done. And, I mean, I kind of had a really long summer, essentially, but that's not important. I guess we could talk about that in another video or at the end of this video, whatever one I decide I come up with. But I've recently been playing a lot of Roblox, weirdly enough, and it's been kind of fun. I've been playing these fighting games like The Strongest Battlegrounds and Jujutsu Shenanigans, and fun fact, that's our topic of today, Jujutsu Shenanigans. And you might be asking, well, what are you going to talk about? And it's simple. It's 5 things I hate about Jujutsu Shenanigans. Alright, so this is how this tier list is going to go. We're going to go 5 to 1. 5 being, tolerable, and then number 1 being the most absolutely annoying in this game. But, we're going to start off with my tolerable one, ear rape. Now imagine me rolling through the streets of Jujutsu Shenanigans, and I see people. The whole point of the game is to battle it out, and so I go and do that. I'm doing the game as it's meant and purpose. I'm getting my ass kicked because I have no idea what I'm doing. Despite having 320 kills, I'm still learning the game. So I'm over here just fighting. Ignore the other guy. We're going to talk about him a little bit later. He's not important right now. And also, you might be seeing me use this video a little bit more often because it proves a couple points in this video. And, it just saves me the time of having to go record more. But anyways, I'm over here fighting my ass off, trying to fight survive, getting 2v1. And, I said, I'm dead. There's nothing I can do. And I wanted to see if they're on PlayStation to see if I could send them a nice little message. And then I hear, this corny shit.
Well, boys, we did it. Racism is no more.
And I mean, some might find it funny, ha ha ha, silly, loud noise. And that one wasn't really angering. It was just kind of, really? Is that the best sound you could find? But, I mean, mine's not any better. Mine's just, the Tom and Jerry scream, but, at least it's, something iconic, I guess. But, I go back, run it back with them, and I decide I'm not gonna get myself involved in the 2 other people here. I'm just gonna throw hands with the other guy, and we battle it out, and then his girlfriend shows up, and I'm gonna put it in 2 times speed so you guys can not watch me fight this entire fight. But I die and I hear this corny shit. And people like that, my friends, are the reason why they're on this list. But now we move on to number 4. Now, you might be asking, Dragoon, what are you talking about non-fighters? Well, you see, Jujutsu Shenanigans is like most of the other Battlegrounds games, which they have one feature that, they all have, is emotes. And, there's nothing wrong with using emotes or anything like that, but there's a certain type of people that, they should be at number 5, but I'm not gonna redo all that. But, honestly, they should be number 5, but they're at number 4. But non-fighters are people that sit at the spawn area or other parts of the map and they just sit there and do emotes, which I don't really understand, but if you don't believe me, have a look for yourself. Now, normally they often have crowds around them and whatnot, but I happen to just find this guy by himself, and it's the only footage of, what I have of the subject. And normally, I could have had an opportunity to run him. I could have killed him right there on the spot. I had my Sukuna ult and everything. But I decided not to. Granted, it just beats the purpose of the game. Why play a game if you're just going to kind of sit there and, just emote at spawn and not actually do the purpose of the game? It's a whole fighting game for a reason, not sit at spawn and emote game, I guess you could say. There's not much I really have to say about them. because they're not really, too annoying. They're not harming the game. They're not, being a pain in the ass. They're just sitting there kind of doing their own little thing, which it doesn't really annoy me too much. But that's all. That's really about it. Well, I guess we move on to our next topic. Now, I know this is kind of, something that is in almost every game. For example, you play Strongest, you might see Saitama, or, in JJS Shenanigans, you'll see Gojo, or Sukuna, or Hikari. I don't know. Those are normally the three I mainly see. And, it's kind of just annoying. Only for the matter of fact that, it's kind of to be expected, but they always play the character they're cosplaying as. And, that's not what really annoys me, besides Sukuna. But, we'll talk about him in another video. But, you see them in almost every game. It's like seeing a bacon hair. Seeing a bacon hair and a cosplayer are basically at the same percentage of what you'll see. It's either you're going to see a character from Jujutsu Kaisen or a bacon hair. And honestly, at this point, I think I see more, Jujutsu Kaisen cosplayers than I do bacon hairs. And it doesn't make sense. You're using the same character that the different 20,000 other people are. It's basically like that one scene from Toy Story 2 with like all the Buzz Lightyears on the shelves. You're basically that. You're not original. There's nothing new with it. You're doing the same thing, wearing the same thing that everyone else is. Oh, and I forgot to also mention Megami. I also see a lot of Megamis, but it's not nearly as much as Hikari, Gojo, or Sukuna. But I don't get it. What is the thrill in using the same character that the different tens of thousands of people are wearing? And I know someone will be like, oh, Dragoon, you're cosplaying Zack Fair. Or when you popped your all, you had the Griffith skin on. Yes, I will admit the Griffith skin is a little bit unoriginal. But with Zack, how many people have you seen wearing Zack Fair from Crisis Core in a Roblox game? Like, I'm going to be straight up. How often do you normally see that? But with that out of the way, we move on to topic number 2. Now, unfortunately, this is a common breed of people. You see, you have these people that are, dating or whatever, and they hop on these servers, and, they'll walk around and shit, but they won't ever fight. And whenever you tap one of them, they start going berserk. Like, how about we mention what happened earlier? Do you remember that clip from earlier? Editor, play it back for me. So I see his girlfriend and this other girl are fighting, so I gotta go 1v1 him, thinking it would be safe. And as soon as I do that, all I can hear in the distance coming for me. And that, my friends, is why I hate e-daters. You touch their little pookie one time, and you're going to get jumped. It's a 2v1. And if you're inexperienced and a dumbass like me, you're going to get your shit rocked. Like, what are you supposed to do in there? In that scenario, I had 3 people trying to jump me. So, yeah, I don't like e-daters all that much. But that's just me. If you like them, good for you, I guess. And well, before I start saying things YouTube does not like, let's move on to our last and final topic. Unfortunately, third-partying and teaming is something that is common in fighting games like these. Take Strongest Battlegrounds, for example. They will have teamers and third-partiers. It's something that you'll see in Fortnite, except maybe the teaming, unless you're playing duos or some shit. Or JJS Shenanigans, which is like a breeding grounds for third-partiers and teamers. Like, it is ridiculous. Like, in Strongest, yeah, I'll see a third-partier or a teamer, but it's like a rare sight. And JJS Shenanigans, that's half of the games you'll play. You will always see a third-partier or a teamer in one of these lobbies. If it's not someone e-dating and they're having their boyfriend jump you, it's just randoms teaming up, or someone in a Discord call with their buddy jumping you, or some random guy hopping in your fight and taking your friend's kill or something. I don't know. And the proof that I have been third-partied on before, I have a silly little clip from a while back which has still left me a little bit scarred from how many people were trying to jump me. Editor, will you throw that clip in for me? Here, I'm getting jumped by 4 people at once. Hell, I felt like the actual Zach Fair. I was taking my final stand and trying to protect my honor. Yeah, and I still got the Zach Fair treatment. And it really ruins the fun of trying to actually have a good 1v1 and not either getting pulled into some domain or having some team just start running your shit. Like, it takes the fun out of it. Like, how are you really supposed to enjoy this game when you're being ran up on by multiple different people? Hell, I can't even ask my friend for a 1v1 when we play this game without being jumped by some random. So yes, that is why I have teaming at number 1. I know there wasn't much footage to show for it, but from what I have experienced, it's a pain in the ass. And as I said, I know it's something that's going to be in every game, but I look at strongest and see how little there is of teamers and third-partiers, and then I look at JJS shenanigans, and it's like an infestation. There's so many third-partiers and teamers, it's ridiculous. But my friends, with that out of the way, I'm not going to keep you here any longer. Thank you for watching this video, and I will see you on the flip side.
Buckle off! It's your 20th